Z.C. Maltbia here, Senior Pastor of the True Holiness Saints Center in the beautiful city of Conway, Arkansas. And you know what time it is. It is Wednesday Word time. So what is our Wednesday Word for tonight? Our Wednesday Word is happy. More specifically, I want to talk to you about how to live a happier life. And I think we would all agree that we all want to live a happy life. We all want to feel that sense of pleasure and contentment that comes from happiness. We all want to experience that great sense of satisfaction that overwhelms us during the happy seasons of our life. For when we are happy, we're much more cheerful. When we're happy, we tend to be much more pleasant. In fact, when we're happy, we're certainly much more fun to be around. And so today, I simply want to give you 3 quick things to immediately stop doing if you want to live a happier life. If you write in notes, write this down. Point number 1, if you want to live a happier life, you've got to stop worrying. Stop worrying. I tell people all the time, in fact, maybe you ought to type this in the comment section, but I tell people all the time, worry doesn't work. I know somebody's a witness out there, worry doesn't work. In fact, Jesus himself says in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 27, he says, can any of you by worrying add a single hour to your life? Here's Jesus's point. Worry doesn't work. In other words, Jesus was saying worry is ineffective. It's a big waste of time, and it never produces favorable results. Think about it like this. Worry can't change the past. Worry can't control the future. All worry can do is make you miserable in the present. In fact, let me pause for a moment and give you a social media quote for tonight. And we encourage you to put this on all of your social media platforms. Maybe you ought to text it to a close friend. But here's your social media quote. A day of worry is more exhausting than a day of working. Now let that sink in. A day of worrying is much more exhausting than a day of working. Why? Because worry burdens you down. Worry stresses you out. Worry can be much exhausting. I once heard it said like this: worry never changes tomorrow's outcomes. All it does is robs you of the joy today. So if you want to be a happier person, number 1, you got to stop worrying. But then secondly tonight, if you want to be a happier person, stop trying to make everybody else happy. That's somebody's word tonight. Stop trying to make everybody else happy. You cannot be everything to everybody all the time. In fact, you will drive yourself crazy trying to please people. You've got to take a break from the pleasing or people-pleasing mentality. I tell people at our local church all the time, you don't need people's approval or their endorsement to be blessed. You don't need people's approval or endorsement to successfully climb the corporate ladder. You don't need other people's approval or endorsement to determine your college major or to finish your educational goals. You don't need their endorsement. Why do you say that, Pastor Maltbia? Because Paul says something interesting in Romans 8:31. Paul says, what then shall we say in response to all of these things? What things? The haters in your life. If God be for us, who can be against us? Now don't get it twisted. I would absolutely love the support of people, but I don't need it to be successful. I declare and decree you're going to be fine with Jesus alone. Now that's something to type in the comment section. You're going to be fine with Jesus alone. Why? Because 1 plus God is always the majority. You don't need people's approval. You don't need their endorsement to be blessed. Therefore, you got to stop trying to make everybody happy, because what will happen is you will drive yourself crazy. So stop trying to make everybody happy. Means you got to stop letting people take advantage of you. Did you take that in? Stop trying to please everybody means you got to also stop letting people take advantage of you. This means you can't just say yes impulsively without thinking it through, without considering how much energy, without considering how much time, without considering what this request will take from you. Secondly, it means you got to learn to say no. And thirdly, sometimes you got to be okay with people being upset with you. If you really want to live a happier life, you got to stop letting people take advantage of you. Yes, our Wednesday word is happy. How to live a happier life. You do that by stopping from worrying. You do that by stop trying to make everybody happy. And then finally tonight, you do it by stop living in the past. If you're going to live a happier life, you've got to stop living in the past. Take this advice, dear hearts. Let go of the past, yes, but don't forget the lessons it taught you. Now, there's something good to type in the comment section. Let go of your past, but don't you ever forget the lessons the past taught you. Remember what the past taught you about trusting the wrong people. Remember what the past has taught you about making emotionally charged decisions. Remember what the past has taught you about disobeying God's word. Yes, let go of the past, but never forget the lessons it has taught you. Paul says again in Philippians 3:13, one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and staring towards what is ahead. Paul says, I press on towards the goal. Ma'ams and sirs, we need to learn how to let go of our past. But don't forget the lessons it's taught you. You've got to learn from your past, but you don't have to be controlled by it. So tonight's Wednesday word is happy. How to live a happier life. We'll do that when we stop worrying, when we stop trying to please everybody, and when we stop living in the past. God bless.